Hello and welcome back. We are taking a break from the Mary Surratt series because I have an update on a case that I talked about last year. If you've been with me since I started this series, MysHistory, you'll remember that my second episode that I talked about, it was on the Somerton man. If you missed it, I will go ahead and put a link in the description and also link it up here, in case you wanted to go watch it. But the quick recap is that on December 1st, 1948, two trainee jockeys were on a beach in Adelaide, Australia. It was Somerton Beach, actually. They were exercising their horses. They noticed the body of a well-dressed man slumped up against the seawall. There was no identification on the man. There seemed to be no reason that a man his age and in good physical condition should have mysteriously died. Fingerprints were of no help. The police would photograph the body and print the photo in the newspapers. Sadly, no one would come forward, and there were several odd clues, including a hidden pocket in the man's trousers with a rolled up piece of paper sewn into it with the words Tamam Shud, which is Farsi for "it has ended." So, like I said, nobody came forward to claim him. Police in Adelaide would bury him in Adelaide in 1949 with a tombstone that read, "Here lies the unknown man who was found on Somerton Beach." Due to the mystery of the clues that were found that involved the man, it was believed that perhaps he may have been a Russian spy. Derek Abbott, who was a professor at the University of Adelaide, was able to petition the government last year to exhume the body of Somerton man, specifically May 19th, 2021, which is kind of where we left off. He discovered 3 hairs on the bust that was made of the Somerton man's head, and so he would use those hairs to extract DNA. He would then team up with a U.S. forensics expert, Colleen Fitzpatrick, and the two were able to build an extensive family tree using the DNA that was extracted from the hairs. They came up with roughly 4,000 names that they had to go through, but they were able to narrow down the field to just one man, a man by the name of Carl Webb, who they noted had absolutely no death record. So going off of that information, they were able to track down the living relatives of Mr. Webb and use their DNA to confirm their findings. South Australian police have not confirmed this information. Neither has the coroner. So we are waiting for confirmation that it was Carl Webb. But according to Professor Abbott, he is 99.9% confident that Somerton man is Carl Webb. Professor Abbott also believes that they have finally gotten the identity of the man correct. Of the work that was put in by himself and Dr. Fitzpatrick, he said, quote, "It's a triangulation from 2 different, totally distant parts of the family tree." He further added, "It feels kind of like climbing Mount Everest and having that mixture of elation that you're at the top, but also tiredness and exhaustion." So Carl Webb, not a Russian agent, not a spy, nor was he the father of Professor Abbott's wife, or grandfather as it were. And it was initially believed that maybe he was, because of the weird characteristic in the incisor teeth. So according to Professor Abbott, Carl Webb was born in 1905 in a suburb of Melbourne, Australia. He was the youngest of 6. He married a woman named Dorothy Robertson, aka Doff Webb, and this is what brought him to Adelaide. According to Professor Abbott, we have evidence that he had separated from his wife and that she had moved to South Australia. So possibly he had come to track her down. In October of 1951, remember he was found in 1948, a publication in the Age newspaper appeared on October 5th, 1951 that read, "To Carl Webb, formerly of Bromby Street, South Yarra, but now of parts unknown. Take notice that your wife, Dorothy Jean Webb, has instituted divorce proceedings against you on the ground of desertion, and that unless you enter an appearance in the Profanatories Office of the Supreme Court at Melbourne on or before the 29th day of October 1951, the case may proceed in your absence, and you may be ordered to pay costs," which would have been a neat trick if Somerton man is actually Carl Webb. So, descendants of Dorothy told Professor Abbott that Dorothy remarried and then died in the late 1990s in New South Wales. So, what are your thoughts? You think Professor Abbott and Dr. Fitzpatrick are correct? And if so, they cracked one of the coldest cases in modern history by, at the very least, identifying who he was. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you soon with the continuation of Mary Surratt. Bye.